Hi, and welcome to the Home Video Emporium. I'm your host, my name is Brendan, and with this series what I hope to accomplish is to catalog my entire collection of home video titles and determine which of these movies still belongs amongst my elite and esteemed collection and needs to be preserved for many years still to come, and which of these movies unfortunately may need to be purged so we can free up a little shelf space here, as I have unfortunately run out of room on my video shelves and I'm still looking to add titles to the collection still. And I'm at that point right now where first I might subtract before I can add. We're hoping to give her about 30 to 50 movies by the end of the series, and if nothing else, this is a great time and excuse to watch some movies I may not have seen in quite a while and hopefully enjoy them all with you. Today's episode is our ninth and final film by Joel and Ethan Coen. This is A Serious Man from 2009. The film stars Michael Stuhlbarg, Sarah Lichtner, Richard Kind, and Fred Malamed as Cy Abelman. This film, as I had, unfortunately, if I had mentioned it previously in the short film I did talking about the Coen Brothers retrospective, I mistakenly said 10 films. Apparently my mathematics are not quite as good as the character in A Serious Man. I am not a physics professor, or perhaps I just misspoke. That is a question that we will never know the answer to. But nonetheless, this is our ninth and final film from Joel and Ethan. Both of them now are credited as writer, director, and producers. And so, Serious Man from 2009. This film I saw for the first time. I rented it. I believe we're going Hollywood Video, as I was still around in my area at this time. It closed very shortly afterwards, unfortunately. But I did rent the film and watched it several times during the rental. And I'm pretty sure this doesn't have any kind of markings of any video store, but I'm pretty sure I did eventually purchase this at Hollywood Video in Matamoros, Pennsylvania, right before it closed. At least that's the way I remember it. I could be having a Rashomon-like situation, but I'm fairly certain I both rented it and purchased it from Hollywood Video. And this film, excuse me, still nice and hot outside. But it's actually been very nice, actually. I've been able to go outside. I'm not like drenched in sweat and everything when I go outside. It's actually much more palatable and habitable than previously. And with this film, it's Larry, played by Michael Stuhlbarg. He's an interesting character in the Coens. He's similar in a lot of ways in which misfortune is befalling upon him, but he's not a character who really set out to have the misfortune. A lot of times it's in these Coen movies, it's the characters who actually make the initial decision, whether it's Jerry in Fargo, who puts this whole criminal plan in motion, Llewellyn Moss in No Country for Old Men, who steals all that money. I don't know about Barton Fink, but Tom Reagan in Miller's Crossing, he's the one he sees this big plan and he kind of has to make the plan before all the other characters can do it. Even H.I. McDonough and Ed in Raising Arizona, they're the ones who make the conscious decision that they're going to take this child. And then, they have to deal with the consequences, where in this one, Larry, he's very much, this just all happens to him. And not only is he kind of a unwilling kind of participant, but he actually is constantly going out and searching answers. He's trying to figure out why this is happening to him, what can he do with it, what are the answers, what does all this mean? And he's getting all this information. You need to talk to the rabbi, you need to talk to a lawyer about this, you need to talk to someone else about this, all this other stuff. You need to talk to Cy Abelman about this. We all need to get together and have this. You need to talk to the kids. He needs to talk to everybody and he needs to deal with all this stuff. And he is trying. He's not just kind of sarcastically going through the motions. He very much does want to get the answers. And if you look at some of the other Coen Brothers characters like Anton Chigurh in No Country, or Walter in Big Lebowski, they very much have their worldview philosophy mapped out, and they're not going to tinker with it. They're not going to listen to any kind of argument about it. They're going to impose their worldview on the other characters. They're going to say, this is how we view things, and you need to deal with the consequences. Where, he's very much Larry. He's very much willing to listen to what other people have to say. He very much wants them to just, give him the answers that he needs. He wants pretty much a simple kind of an answer. And, he goes to several rabbis. He wants to go to the eldest rabbi to get the to get the words of wisdom, and he's not getting that. They're posing more questions and giving him answers, so he's even more befuddled perhaps than after going to them, and he's getting all these different stories and riddles, and he doesn't know what to make about it. And so he's an interesting Coen Brothers character. This is I don't know if that many people saw Serial Span. I actually was looking some stuff up before I did this. It actually got nominated for Best Picture, which I really didn't remember at all. But it only got nominated for Best Picture and Best Writing, so obviously it was going to win. But this was also when they were doing much more, the 10 nominations, not just a few. But yeah, this is one of the few Coen Brothers movies to get a Academy Award nomination, which is pretty wild. And I think it's deserving so there. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe there were better movies 2009. There might have been. Yeah, but whatever. I'm not going to argue about a Coen Brothers movie getting a Best Actor nomination. You do get some more kind of interesting camera work from Deakins and the Coens. There's a lot more Dutch angles, especially when Larry's talking to the second rabbi. I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Colonel Sanders in Spaceballs. I can't remember what the actor's name, but he's really great in this. He's one of the best standout characters in this. But you get some kind of Dutch angles when he's talking about the goy and the teeth that have the Hebrew lettering in it. And then during other periods where characters are high, during the bar mitzvah scene, they're using a lot of like tilt-shift lenses, which is really getting really narrow depth of field, and it's really highlighting certain parts. I think it works good with the bar mitzvah, not just for the kind of the marijuana usage by the young child, but also that this is kind of like a big moment for his character, and he's going to get to speak with the eldest rabbi, and he's supposed to get the answers that his father couldn't, and he really doesn't. They both just get a little more kind of like riddles and clues that they're going to have to make sense of eventually. So, one of my favorite, probably my favorite performance, though, in the movie is Fred Malamet, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He plays Cy Abelman. He's only in maybe 2 scenes. Well, actually, no, he's been in about 3 scenes. He's so great. He's a great voice, and just his delivery is so incredible. The scene where they're at some like family restaurant, and both him and Larry's wife, they're going over how they need to get this religious divorce so that the wife can then eventually remarry in the faith. And they're pretty much kicking Larry out of his own house. They're like just completely demoralizing him. They're just pushing him around. He's trying to fight back, but he can't do it. And just every single line of delivery that Fred has as Cy Abelman is so incredible. One of the special features that are on this, it is a documentary, and he seems like he talks like he is Cy Abelman when he's doing that. And he's talking about how Larry, he's not a serious man. He's not as serious as I. He's fun, and I wish that like I don't want a full movie, like I don't want a Cy Abelman movie, but he would be a fun like supporting character, just keep popping up in different movies. I don't know how you could just like insert him into, the Coens are always doing different time periods and all this other stuff. I would like to see Cy Abelman just keep popping back up in different Coen movies. One of the weirder things in the documentary was behind the scenes was shot on set as they were filming everyone in the costume, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But the character who plays Larry's son in the movie, he talks about how people online, and he's doing this in character. He's doing this. He's dressed up for the bar mitzvah. He's in the synagogue, so he's fully in character on the set. And he's talking about how people online had different theories about what this movie was about, and I don't know how they would have had theories about it while they're still shooting the movie. I don't know if the script got leaked and people were just talking about the script, but that was very, very strange. That while he's filming, people are already talking about online about different theories about the movie, which was just a peculiar thing. There's also a documentary about how the Coens created the 1960s for this. And so with the Coen Brothers, just in the retrospective we've done, we've covered the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, we've missed the 70s, then we've done the 80s and 90s. So they have just done decade after decade. I don't know, maybe Llewyn Davis takes place in the 70s. I can't remember, 60s or 70s, right, for that one? Maybe I do need a 10th Coen Brother. That is a really good one, Inside Llewyn Davis. So maybe I do need to add that so I can get as many decades as possible. And they also have some kind of cliff notes about some of the like the Hebrew language and everything, and they're translating what the characters are saying for the goys out there, which is helpful. But maybe watch that before you watch the movie so you can get a little more understanding. So, hold on. Lost my train of thought. Alright. Alright, we will wrap this up. So this is A Serious Man from Joel and Ethan Coen. And as I stated before, this is our final film in the Coen Brothers 9-film retrospective. And to celebrate such occasion, we are celebrating the Home Video Achiever Awards. So instead of ranking anything, doing a top 10, we will simply give out awards. Whoever, the recievers of these awards are, I assume it's going to be a great honor and a great privilege. So, Best Motion Picture Drama, I gave to Fargo. Best Motion Picture Comedy, Musical or Comedy for the Golden Globes, I gave to Raising Arizona. Best Dramatic Performance, I just wrote out a few. Gabriel Byrne in Miller's Crossing, Javier Bardem, No Country for Old Men, and John Turturro, Barton Fink. Again, we're going with, comedy, dramedy, whatever. Best Comedic Performance, Nick Cage and Holly Hunter in Raising Arizona, Jeff Bridges in Big Lebowski, and we'll throw in Goodman too for Big Lebowski. Best Supporting Performances, Jennifer Jason Leigh in Hudsucker Proxy, Steve Buscemi in Fargo, and John Goodman in Barton Fink. I'll throw in Fred Melamed from A Serious Man. He's great in that too. Although it's more of like a minor role. If I had a minor role, he'd probably lose to Turturro from Big Lebowski. But give him a shout out, Fred Melamed. He's great in this. And this is okay. We have two special awards. One is the Best Man Who Married Into the Business, and that goes to William H. Macy as Jerry Lundegaard from Fargo. I think he kind of has the most weaselly, kind of cynical weakness about him. He plays the victim very well, and I think it's a great performance from William H. Macy. And the toughest award that I had to do was the Most Valuable John in a Coen Brothers movie. Obviously, you also have John Mahoney, you have John Polito, both of whom are great, but this obviously comes down to Goodman and John Turturro. And really looking at these movies, it's so hard to imagine them without Goodman and Turturro. They are so great in everything, and even just the smaller roles like Turturro and Big Lebowski or Goodman and Raising Arizona, they just everything they just nail it out of the park. I actually went with Turturro. It's I could maybe tomorrow I could say Goodman, but for the awards now we're going with John Turturro. I think that even in Big Lebowski, such a small role, he does so much with that, just so much with that role. And his lead role, and Barton Fink, he's terrific in. His incredible supporting turn in Miller's Crossing, he's great in. Just non-stop incredible performances from John Turturro. Although Goodman, it can go either way. Goodman is close. All right. And as I mentioned, I have seen a lot of the movies in this series. I talked about how I saw them for the first time on video. I have seen quite a few of these for the first time in theater. I did see The Lady Killers, which was I saw Burn After Reading, which was I saw Inside Llewyn Davis, which I really liked. I saw True Grit, which I thought was pretty good. I haven't gone back and watched it since. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I didn't see. I saw Oh Brother, We're Out There. I saw that for the first time in video. That's another really great one. And then the stuff they've done solo, I'm not as big of a fan on. I didn't think that Joel's Macbeth adaptation was all that great. I like that they're trying to make it look like The Passion of Joan of Arc. It's really interesting visually. What they're trying to do. I think the actress who played the Three Witches was really great. That was like the standout performance. I thought Denzel and Francis were just kind of I thought it was weird that a lot of the other characters are doing Scottish accents. Denzel still sounds like Denzel. I don't know why that happened. And even like a few years prior, you had the Macbeth movie with Michael Fassbender, Marion Cotillard. I think that's a much better movie. If you're looking for Macbeth movies, I would much recommend the one with Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard over the Joel Coen one. I would also recommend Throne of Blood, the Kurosawa one, which we're going to get to later. We're also going to get to the other Macbeth one with Fassbender. I've got that too. So so even though we don't have Joel's, we got a lot more Macbeth to go to. Don't you worry about that. And we've got the Tragedy of Macbeth, the Polanski one. So Macbeth is set. Plenty of Macbeth to go. And Ethan, it's nice that he's working with his wife. His really is just the more kind of juvenile stuff that that I kind of want maybe turn me off a little bit of something like Burn After Reading, where it's the characters are a little like, I don't know if I like these people. I saw Drive-Away Dolls, which had some pretty funny laughs in it, but like at the end, it's like, do I really care about these characters? Do I really even care about what they're doing? Do they even care about what they're doing? I'm not a, I really, it's fine. They had, at least 3 decades of just tremendous collaborations together. They made a whole bunch of great films, even though I only have 9. There's still plenty more to go. As I mentioned, especially Inside Llewyn Davis, Blood Simple, the first movie they did, which I haven't seen that in a long time. I should go back and revisit that. So there's tons of great Coen stuff out there, and I really should have checked before I started this. I don't know what they're both up to next. As far as I know, they're not working together anytime soon. But here's hoping. Here's hoping that they eventually do come back and make a collaboration together. But if they don't, it's fine. We got way more great movies out of the Coens than a lot of filmmakers who have been around even longer than them. So I obviously applaud Joel and Ethan Coen for their tremendous contributions to the world of cinema. And hopefully, no matter what happens, best of luck, and I'm still going to watch their films. Probably in the theater, or if not, on home video. And maybe one day they'll do something else that I will add to the collection, whether together or apart. So that's going to wrap us up on our Coen Brothers marathon. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. You let me know what are some of your favorite Coen Brothers movies. Are these all preserved? Are they all preserved? Was there a Purge in the list? Do you not like all these? Let me know about that one, and we'll keep on going. We're talking about The Godfather next, so I gotta watch these really long movies. It's gonna take forever. So Coppola there. They got some long movies to get through next. A lot of special features on those movies too, from what I recall. There's a good one on the Godfather documentary that has Turturro in it, so we're still getting some more John Turturro, so that's good. That's very good to hear. So, until next time, be kind and rewind to each other, and remember, it's not a true home without home video. Thank you, goodbye.